Things that I did when I was younger that I would never do now, and I recommend that you don't either. I used to be a top tier member or reward member, whatever it's called, at Mecca Cosmetica. And in fact, one year I even got a Christmas present from Joe Horgan, who created the brand. That's a lot of makeup and skincare products. And I was forever looking for the next best thing. So I believed that the bigger the label, like the more famous, whatever that it was, the better the product. I believed that the stronger it was, even in my 20s, the more it was going to do for my skin. If I saw JLo promote it, I was in. Man, she's got beautiful skin, right? And I really felt that I would just do more and more and more and more. I had no idea how to read a product label. I had no idea how to look at what the ingredients in something was. I had zero idea that pretty much all of those products are made by three big companies, the three big manufacturers that own pretty much all of the store. I mean, we're in a very lucky age now. There has never been more variety available, never been more low tox products around for us to choose from. And if my products aren't the ones for you, I can probably recommend another one because I'm sure I've used it. Also, in terms of the products that I was using, wow, they're basically poison. Really, they are. There are some really incredible apps. You can use Ingred, which is an app. There is also, I'm sorry, I'm Apple Store. I'm not Android, so I can't help you there. There's Chemical Maze app, which is paid, only costs about $15. You can just Google them. Now you could use any kind of AI because information is easily available to us to look up what an ingredient is. But you have to be the detective yourself. You can't just trust that it's for sale, so therefore it's good for you. That's just bullshit. People are looking to make money. They're looking to make money from your insecurities. And so therefore you can't trust much that anybody says. Or at least a big company anyway. So start by having a look at the ingredients. The way that it works on a product ingredient is that the higher up it's listed, it's the same as food. The higher up it's listed is the more of that ingredient there is. So for instance, in one of my products that's based on jojoba oil is going to be first because I put most of that in the formulation. And then I'm going to have the other carrier oils, and then towards the end will be the essential oils. And then at the very end will be the moon charged crystal or sun charged crystal, depending on the product. And I do not write on my ingredient list about all of the love, intention, and vibrational coding. Because that's not required to be there. And I'm hoping you guys know that it's in there anyway. However, looking up all of the different ingredients, and you can simply just say, you can just look up the ingredient name and then ask whether it's good for you, pros and cons, anything. Is it poisonous is a good question. Where is it derived from? Is it naturally derived? Is it synthetically derived? And that's not to say that every single synthetic ingredient is terrible for you, but I guess, would you rather be eating your organic fruits and vegetables, or would you rather your processed foods? I mean, there's space in our life for some processed foods, right? But predominantly, we're going to be wanting those really delicious organic fruits and vegetables, all of those things. So think about it that way. Also, acids. So most acids are derived from natural things. So there's lactic acid. Of course, I've had a mental blank right now and I can't think of any other acids. I can't think. Anyway, those can be used quite safely for helping your skin cells to exfoliate without using harsh, aggressive exfoliation action on the face. However, we can also do other things. So I encourage people to use an oil cleanser and then to use a face cloth. So when you have a wet face cloth on your face, guess what happens? You're exfoliating your skin. So I really don't encourage people to exfoliate their skin very often, and except for in winter. So during winter, it can be a little bit harder to keep the surface of us, as we get older especially, a little bit harder to keep the surface cells exfoliating in the same way. You can do things like using a yogurt, just using yogurt on your face. You could use our honey cleanser made by my beautiful naturopath with their own bees, because when you're pressing that on your skin, you're actually taking off those dead surface cells. And you can use a face cloth. You can use a face cloth dry and rub it over your face. That is a really beautiful way to exfoliate your face, really focusing on those areas like around the nose where we get a bit congested. The lips is really nice to do if you don't have any kind of lip condition. Definitely no active anything going on your lips. Don't be exfoliating when that happens. And if you have any breakouts or spots on your skin, make sure that you are changing your face cloth regularly. The other thing I was really thinking about that if I would not do anymore is pretty much would say don't use a makeup brush because none of you are probably washing it often enough. So if you're really not washing it often enough, just don't use your fingers. So find products you can use with your fingers for drier and more mature or older skin. Usually it is better to use things like cream-based anyway. They are easier to use on our skin. They don't settle into the creases as much, and so they can give us a glowier look. If you are really great about washing your makeup brushes or you don't wear makeup that often, then go to town, but experiment with that. And how often do you wash your face cloth? So really, you should be washing it. Like, I know there are some people who will just use it for one day and then wash it. Ideally, we'd all do that, but you know, life. So I use mine sometimes for a couple of days. I would definitely be, if you are not changing your pillowcase at least once a week, change your pillowcase. If you're not changing your towels at least once a week, change your towels. We really need to be making sure that we are, especially in winter when your towels don't dry super quickly, we want to make sure that we're keeping things quite clean. So we're not going to be over sanitary, but quite clean. And when I mentioned those acids, they can be very aggressive on the skin, particularly when you're using like those pre-soaked pads that are full of alcohol as well. And the reason they're full of alcohol is when you have any kind of liquid in there, it's very easy for mold or fungus to grow or bacteria. So therefore they need to do that so that it doesn't grow anything disgusting on your skin. Sorry, alarm to pick up my son from school. I will go in a second. So what we really want to do is make sure that our skin surface is turning over. So we can do that by using products like a natural form of retinol called bakuchiol. So that's in our Radiant Skin Glow. And it really helps to just make sure that we are having that cell turnover every 30 days, making sure that we're nourishing from the inside so that happens. The other things that I would really avoid doing is do not ever go to sleep with your makeup on. Don't be thinking that you can, I'm going to do a whole series on like what strong treatments do to your face, as in like if you're going to have injectables, if you're going to have laser, all of those things. So I will talk about that in another one, but essentially I do not believe in preventative Botox. It's not a thing. Really, what we are doing is, and when you're using laser or injectables, they're causing micro damage to under the surface of the skin to encourage things to happen like collagen production, etc. We can be doing that with, I really should have show and tell here, shouldn't I? But with gua sha, we should be doing that with our facial cupping, and we should be doing that with facial massage, with exfoliation, as in with the gentle, with the face cloth, blah, blah, blah. You could do facial brushing if you like. Especially, I'm going to add in here, looking after your scalp. If anyone has lost a dramatic amount of hair at any point, you will be with me on this. People who say, I don't care about my hair or my scalp as much as my face, you would if you lost your hair. So trust me, don't let it happen. Look after your scalp. And what other things can I tell you? I guess they're the things, really. The other one is make sure your friends don't take photos of you when you look like an idiot. Thankfully, I'm too old for that because we didn't all have phones in our pockets with amazing cameras. And be sensible, look after yourself. You are amazing and you deserve to be loved and treated right. So make sure you do it to yourself too, because the way that you treat yourself is how other people are going to treat you. That's it for today.